What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one I want to break down what's going on with the overall market, what's going on with Tesla's stock, how the technicals are looking, what you should be watching for moving forward, as I give you guys my prediction for how Tesla's going to move in the next couple of days, in my opinion. But before I break anything down about all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things before starting. I'm firstly not a financial planner, so make sure you take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. The offer ends in just 2 days, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Tesla was down, or it currently is down about 1.9% as of right now. However, there's a very, very nice bounce that is forming on Tesla, in my opinion, and Tesla's continuing to hold up quite well so far. I believe that Tesla has a good chance for upside over the next couple of days. I'm going to break down exactly why that is. But first, let's talk about the market. How is the market looking? SPY got a very beautiful bounce off the inverse head and shoulders like structure that we called out. Same thing on Aapl, same thing on the QQQ. The market is holding up very nicely. Tesla fell a little bit behind because we had some negative news involving China, but if anything, it's still holding above its resistance quite nicely, and there's a good chance Tesla will continue to pump. It will bounce and make some very, very beautiful price action to the upside very, very soon. Now, the reason why the market held up nicely was because, first off, we were due from a technical standpoint for a bounce, because I showed you guys the bullish falling wedges on SPY, the QQQ, and also on Tesla. Also, NEO and a couple of other stocks had them. We had some triple bullish divergences that started to play out, and then we got some other good pieces of news, like the consumer inflationary expectations report. This was at 3.5%, which was lower than expected, showing us that consumers are expecting inflation to come down, and that's a good sign for the Fed, good sign for the markets. That's what we want to see. So, what's going on SPY? Before I talk about Tesla, let me just mention that I mentioned some other important things about it. Looking at this, I'm just going to try to go back to what I drew out. I basically drew these out. I told you guys we're either going to bounce off this level and see this thing try to pump, or it could drop down to 442 and then get the bounce. But either way, I was looking for some kind of bounce. I had these drawn out. I'm not really like undoing anything. I'm just trying to keep it as real as possible. And that's what I had drawn out. Just want to show you that. But anyways, that is close to what happened, because we did get a bounce right here off this confluence of support, right? The previous breakout area on SPY right here, this 444 area. This is where we got the cup and handle breakout. This area right here, this is where we started to retest our support. This acted as support, and we got a very nice bounce. Then we had this blue trend line acting as support. We got another bounce off here. You could see how this was holding the market up. Check this out right here. So I drew out this trend line, and then when you zoom into SPY, you will notice that right about here, it's basically respecting this trend line very nicely. It touched this, came a little bit below it, testing the lower bound of the support zone and also the lower part of the falling wedge, bounced off of it, came back down, right? This is how we opened up down here, bouncing off the trend line, forming an inverse head and shoulders structure. You guys can see this quite clearly, and it looks like it's going to try for a breakout very soon. Now, we have the FOMC minutes on Wednesday at about 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. I think approaching it, we might see the market pump approaching it and then see something else depending on how the numbers look. But for now, I mean, if we do start pumping, we're going to come very close to this yellow resistance line right here. This could be where we're heading over the next couple of days by Wednesday, and that happens to align very closely with this start of the inverse head and shoulder. So I do believe there's a good chance we're going to see SPY hit 450 very soon. We need to break out of this falling wedge, and it has to try to do so. So it could, reject tomorrow and then try breaking out later on. But I do believe it's going to make an attempt to break out maybe by tomorrow, if not by like early Wednesday. I think there's a good chance there's going to be an attempt for a nice move to the upside. So we're going to be watching these levels very carefully. And I do believe the FOMC minutes, as we get closer to that, there's some more upside coming for SPY to hit 450. But what about Tesla? How is Tesla looking from a technical standpoint? Well, the problem with Tesla was we had some bad news in the morning about the price cuts in China, and I drew out two main possibilities. Possibility number one was basically we come down to where this 235 support happens to be, right? We come down here and then we get a bounce and we just see Tesla try to break out. I'm leaning more in this direction. I think Tesla's going to try to break out like this. The second possibility is the red line right here. You could see it. Tesla just continues to downtrend a little bit longer, and then we come down to 230. Then we bounce depending on the news. My gut tells me, based off the technicals, okay, we have a triple bullish divergence on Tesla that is still developing. I think Tesla is going to Once again, 235 is going to be the bottom zone for it. We saw a nice accumulation phase. We're forming an inverse head and shoulder. I think it's going to push up for 242 very soon. So it's going to do something like this. I could just kind of adjust this a little bit, but I just wanted to keep this here just to show you guys I'm not changing anything. I'm just going to, repeat my claims that I saw a bounce coming on Tesla and I still see it coming. So I'm going to be looking for a push up to fill this gap around this 242 area by tomorrow. May come down a little bit and try to get to this upper trend line, which is where the resistance happens to be. And I think we're going to see this thing hit the mid 240s very soon. And then it's going to likely try to break out depending on the FOMC minutes. We might see Tesla hit the higher 240s, depending if we could get the breakout or not. But at the very least, I see this thing getting to the mid 240s very soon. At the very least, that's what I'm seeing. And I think there's a good chance of that happening. So that's what I'm leaning towards on Tesla, leaning more bullish. For SPY, once again, don't forget on the 30 minutes time frame, we're watching our 200 EMA. This is our resistance. I think we're going to break this eventually and get to 450 by Wednesday. That's where I'm leaning towards, at least 450 to complete this inverse head and shoulder. It could even happen as soon as tomorrow to see 452. I'm leaning more bullish in that direction on SPY. The technicals look more bullish. The IWM has the same thing, looking a little bit more bullish, trying to break out to about 191. Not looking as strong as tech though. Tesla looks like it's going to bounce. I think Tesla is going to try to get to 242 at the very least by tomorrow. And then we might see this thing push for the mid 240s after that. And then depending on the FOMC minutes, it could go even higher. It's like 250 or so. It looks more bullish to me. I'm leaning more bullish on Tesla. For Apple, it looks more bullish. Looking at the inverse head and shoulder structure, I have to go to the 4-hour time frame, by the way. On the 4-hour time frame, we have this bullish divergence. That's the first thing you have to note. And then actually, I think the 4-hour, it works. Maybe I could use the 30 minutes. It doesn't really matter. Either way, you could see this. I think the 30 minutes is a little bit better, actually. I'm sorry about that. The 30-minute time frame looks a little bit better to show this. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders structure on Apple. We had this head at 176.55. It formed the right shoulder. This thing is set to push up to 180 very soon, in my opinion. This chart looks bullish. It looks very bullish. Could even be forming a cup and handle for another breakout to get even higher than 180. In my opinion, I think 180 is coming over the next few days. It looks more bullish to me. On the triple Q, this looks more bullish. We formed a nice double bottom instead. We have a triple bullish divergence that still existed right here. It still remained, and now this thing is trying to form an accumulation phase, trying to get a break from its falling wedge. I'm gonna be watching this thing retest 370 and break above it. We could see 372 and 374 very soon. Looks more bullish. Nvidia looks bullish. It's up 6%. I'm gonna be watching this thing push this imbalance at 442. That's my target on Nvidia. It looks more bullish to me. I think it just looks way more bullish, and that's where I'm leaning towards. To add on to this, let's look at something else like the dollar. The dollar came up today, and then it ended up coming down because of some news involving India and other factors. India buying like more crude oil from, I believe it was Saudi Arabia. There was some news about that, and I think that played a role in the dollar coming down. Dollar is still just trading flat now, so that's just not really affecting the market as much. But Coinbase looks bullish too. Going to be looking for a bounce. I think it's going to make its way up to 84 plus very soon over the next week or two. Google looks bullish to me. Nice inverse head and shoulder structure. Going to be looking for 132 to be tested very soon. Looking at Amazon, same thing. It formed a nice inverse head and shoulder structure. I think it's going to try to base and hold around 140. Break this and we could see 141 on it. Looking more bullish than bearish, holding up nicely. Meta looks very bullish too. It looks like it's just getting started with the breakout. It's at 303, okay, but it formed a bullish divergence, got a bounce off our critical support around 298. We called out 300 as the level to watch. We're about to get a bullish cross on the PPO on the 4-hour time frame. We have this imbalance up here around 312. I think it's going to get up to 308 to 312 very soon. It looks more bullish to me. So most stocks out there look bullish. That's the funny thing. They're almost running in unison. I think Tesla's going to get a really nice bounce very soon. We're going to be watching 242 very soon and potentially even higher levels, and the market looks quite nice. All right. So thank you all so much for listening. I hope this was as clear as possible. Tesla looks explosive, possibly. If you wanted to find like a move like that as explosive, you could technically do that because the premiums that could be made off of this could be very, very high. So yes, it looks very nice. This could be awesome for options holders. Stocks look bullish. I'll see you guys in the next one. Market to the moon as the long term is very, very bright, and peace out.